Hi makeup lovers! Today's video is about green eyeshadows and trying out new products and basically just taking you along on a new eyeshadow ride with me. I hope you love the video. Alright guys, I am priming my face with my usual Makeup Revolution primer, silicone base primer, and the foundation I'm using is by Rimmel. It is their Stay Matte Mousse. Very thick, full coverage, just amazing, amazing foundation. Alright, so now I'm starting to blend in my foundation with my Tarte Shape Tape. I've done this in one of my full coverage videos already. But I like to put the concealer on before I start blending in my foundation, so I can just kind of like blend it all together. And I did dampen my sponge a little bit with water. I'm going to be contouring with my Makeup Revolution contour palette. I'm going to take the darkest shade that's on there, which is right here. And I am going to just do a very short line. I've just been playing around with just going halfway down. I used to go from here to about here. Now I've just kind of been playing around, just going about 2 inches down from the top corner of my ear, because I already have pretty chiseled cheeks, so I was like, why am I doing so much of a contour? So I've just kind of been playing around with just keeping it not so dramatic of a contour. Just going around my hairline. And that's it. I don't think I'm going to contour my nose today or anything. I'm not going to do my jawline like I usually do. I'm just going to keep it simple. So now I am going to use this Tarte Smooth Operator Amazonian Clay Finishing Powder. I got this in my Ipsy bag. And I was a little nervous to use it because it's a very dry formula, but apparently it does not make your skin feel dry. It really does set in your foundation so great. So I'm going to use my contour brush and just kind of set under my eyes. Forehead. It's really hard to get this product out, I feel. There's only like 2 little holes in there. It's really hard. So just kind of like tap it into the cap. And I don't know, maybe a little bit goes a long way, and so they don't want you to use too much. But if there's a way I could get this cap off. It's like stuck on. So I'm just going to do my smile lines, forehead, jawline a little bit. Oof, this stuff is really powdery. And now I am going to go in with bronzer while that is sitting, and I'm going to do my brows. Bronzing with my Makeup Revolution bronzer palette, and just going in with one of the darker shades. Just very lightly bronzing. I didn't really want to do too much today as I already have a summer glow right now. Alright, so now I'm going to use my big fluffy brush and brush off this baking setting powder wherever it was. I'm going to do my brows before I do blush or anything else. I've been using the L'Oreal the Brow Stylist Frame and Set in the color Deep Brunette. And I'm going to use this little angled brush. Oh, girl needs to pluck her eyebrows. No, they look good until I get real close up and I'm like, oh my Lord, I've been walking around looking like this. So for a while there, I was doing a pretty arched eyebrow, but lately I've just kind of been following my natural brow, which I'm realizing is like a little bit straighter, and I feel like it looks more natural on me. When I do too much of an arch, I look like a little too surprised, like it's a little bit too harsh, too dramatic. So I feel like just really quickly, just kind of following like my natural brow shape has been working for me. All right, so my brows are done. I am just really loving using the L'Oreal on my brows, and I feel like the deep brunette is good for me because I have such a dark brown root. If I go a little bit lighter with my color, I would definitely go lighter with the brows. So try to keep it a little close to your hair color. So anyways, now I'm going to do my blush. I'm going to use my Makeup Revolution Hot Spice Ultra Blush Palette, and I usually do like the peachy colors, but I'm going to go with a little bit more of like a neutral, a light neutral. Oh, look, there I am. Oh, hey. Hey, girl. Yeah, I'm going to do that one. So I'm going to use my blush brush by e.l.f. or my highlighting brush. I've been using this a lot to apply brush, and I feel like it just goes on really naturally. So I'm going to go in with this color. I don't want anything too crazy on the cheeks today. One thing I will say about this palette is these baked blushes, I feel like don't really do much for my skin. I don't know if I'm too fair-skinned or what, but they're just not that great. So I don't really use those ones. I stick to more these 6 right here, and they're more like peachy toned palette, hence the name of the palette, Hot Spice. If you want more of like a pinky or purpley blush, this palette is not for you. All right, so now I'm going to do a little bit of a highlight. I'm going to go back to my contour palette and go in with the really light color. I'm kind of thinking I want like a bright highlight today. So we're going to do this one. I'm going to use the same brush and just slowly drag it. Now if you want like a really bright highlight, I've been noticing if I put my highlight on after I use my setting spray, I have been able to get like a brighter highlight. I just kind of like, I'll use my finger and just kind of like pat it on, or use the brush and kind of do patting motions. But this gives it a little more of like a subtle look. Do a little bit on my nose, top lip, maybe brush a little on my forehead and my chin. All right, now time to have some real fun. I'm going to be doing a green look. I was inspired by Jaclyn Hill's new palettes that were supposed to come out, the Vault. And now that they are not coming out, I had to search for other greens because I was really excited to play around with some green eyeshadow looks. And I ordered some from Colourpop, and I ordered this beautiful palette by BH Cosmetics. It is a 28 color foiled eyeshadow palette. These are all foiled eyeshadows. So I will probably be playing around with these 2 green ones and these 2 green shadows that I got by Colourpop. This is a matte, and it has a little bit of like shimmer to it. You can't really tell, but when I swatched it, I saw these little sparkles, and they were gorgeous. And then this is a foiled eyeshadow, and it's got a little bit of like a goldy brown undertone. So I'm going to be playing around with green. So let's get started. I'm going to try to just use these 2 palettes. So I usually would start with a matte color, but I think I'm just going to play around with whatever's in here. So maybe I'll start with this color, this kind of like orangey foiled color. Who says you can't start with a foiled shadow? Who says? You don't always have to start with the bone shade matte shadow. So I need something to get a sharp edge. This will work. So I'm basically using this as my transition shade, and I feel like it's working perfectly. These are really pretty eyeshadows. BH Cosmetics, for the price, has amazing quality eyeshadows. I have not been disappointed by them yet. I have their Carly Bible palette. I have the Take Me Back to Brazil palette, and I love them all. All right, so now I'm going to go right in with this gorgeous green, and I'm going to use a little bit of like a smaller eyeshadow brush, I think, so I can get a little more precise with it. I'm going to go very, very, very light-handed with this. That is so pretty. That is exactly the green that I was looking for. All right, now I'm going to go back over with that orange shade and just like slowly, lightly graze right on that line I just made with the green, just to kind of like soften that line a little bit. I find these circular motions really help blend everything well. It kind of just like evenly distributes that color where it needs to go. All right, so now I'm going to play around with this darker green. It's like a dark, shimmery, foiled green, which I didn't even know was coming in this palette, so I was so excited to have another green to play with. And this will help darken my outer crease right here. It's a nice, dark, ormy green. So I'm going to go in with that in the outer corners and really like deepen that up. And then just kind of bring it in my crease as well. Okay, this eyeshadow is gorgeous, and I do have to say, with this foil eye palette, all of these colors are not just to be used on your eyelid, because even though this is like a foiled green, it wasn't too shimmery to use up here, and you can tell it's gorgeous. So now I'm going to go in with the cut crease so I can play around with this color. I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape to do the cut crease here. As you can see, I am going way above my eyelid because I do have pretty hooded eyes. So the only way that this cut crease will show is if I go way above my natural lid. And it's best to do this with your eyes open so you can see where it is going to lie when your eyes are open. So I'm going to do the other eye now. All right, so now I'm going to go in with this shimmery green with a little bit of like a gold undertone. And I'm going to use my pinky to initially apply it, because I feel like that's how you get the most wha-bam out of your foiled shadows. All right, now I'm going to go in with the brush and just perfect all those little spots where my finger did not get. And I'm going to pack it on heavily. All right, now I'm going to go in with the dark green from my BH Cosmetics palette and just kind of go over the edges and kind of put the drama back in the look, because I covered up a little bit of that. I went a little too high up with the cut crease. All right, so now I'm going to do my lower lash line. I'm going to start with that orange foiled color and then go over with the green. I think it's important when you're smoking out your eyes so much, you have to do the same to the bottom, or it just doesn't look even. Now there's a little bit of an orangier color. I'm going to go in with that because I feel like the light orange did not really show on my lower lash line very well. And that's just going to smoke it out a little bit more. All right, so now I'm going to go in with not the darkest green, but the Team Captain, the Colourpop matte green. And I'm going to use a smaller, like a flat, what is it called? A flat eyeliner brush by e.l.f. And I will be connecting the top to the bottom now. All right, so I am not going to do a winged liner with this look. I feel like it's smoky enough and dramatic enough without, but I am going to go in with my Urban Decay 24/7 eyeliner, which you can tell is well loved. I am obsessed with this eyeliner. I feel like it stays really well on the waterline, so I'm going to go in with that. Look how easy that applies too. And I'm going to tightline with that as well. I love the smoky effect that tight lining gives me. You can see the difference between the two eyes. The only thing is I don't have the biggest eyes and it does make them look a little bit smaller, but I'm okay with that because I do like the dramatic look that it adds to any smoky eye. All right, guys, so lashes are on. I put a little bit of mascara before. Now that they, I hope, have dried, I'm going to put a little mascara on after to not only like connect them to my natural lashes, but to also give the falsies a little bit more oomph. These are my favorite lashes. I feel like they're great for every day or for going out. They are by Kiss and they're called Ritzy, and they're $3.99 and they're just my favorite. I'm just adding a little bit, not too much. Now I am going to highlight, so I'm going to go back to my contour palette and go back in with that light color that I was using on my cheekbones and do the inner corners of my eyes. And of course my brow bone. And now on to lips. I'm going to drop things, and then I'm going to put my NYX Pretty in Pink lip liner on. Alright, now my lips are lined, and the reason I put a little pink underneath is because I'm using a very nude soft matte lip cream by NYX. It's called Cairo, and it is very, very light. But I like doing a really light neutral lip with smoky eyes. I feel like it makes my eyes pop more, draws more attention to them than my lips. Alright, so that concludes the look. I am so happy I finally got to play around with greens, especially on camera, and try them out for the first time with you guys. I had no problem blending anything. I had no fallout using the BH Cosmetics or the Colourpop eyeshadows. Super happy with them. And I'm going to use my finishing spray. One more for good luck. Alright, that concludes the looks, you guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.